A very good evening to each one of you, and we are here today for this World Consumer Rights Day 2021. Now I would like to request our President, Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, to please deliver the presidential address.
I think Germany is the country which has led the technological advances in the world by a huge margin on so many fronts. And this is also one front in which Germany has excelled.
Now it's my proud privilege to call upon Professor Bijon Mishra. He is the chairman of Consumer Affairs Committee, PhD-CCI, to set the theme for today's discussion. Over to you, Professor Mishra.
So I must put on record that this is the first Chamber of Commerce which took the courage to have a committee on consumer affairs. And I wish to congratulate the top leadership of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Our Honorable Prime Minister has announced Atmanirbhar Bharat, vocal for local. The government is promoting, supporting, and handholding startups to come into the front and work for biodegradable products. Now that is something which is the need of the day.
Is well utilized, effectively utilized, efficiently utilized for your purpose.
I would like to request Ms. Leena Nandan, IAS Secretary, Department of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. She has joined us virtually to kindly give her special address. Over to you, Leena ji.
I would also like to say here that it is most appropriate that the PhD chamber, which stands for progress, harmony, and development, is actually discussing and debating very seriously how to take forward these various measures for tackling the menace of plastic. Because this is nothing but the need for harmony that is being kickstarted through the debate. The harmony between the need to build our businesses, to grow as enterprises, our manufacturing bases, our businesses. But how do we maintain the harmony with the environment? How do we, in all honesty and with all our conscience intact?
You need good ideas. You need great, passionate people. You need committed people. You need citizens who are entrepreneurs. You need citizens who can show the path. You need good bureaucrats. You need good politicians.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I request the Honorable Guest of Honor, Ms. Leena ji, to speak, we have with us today Mr. Peter Emil. He is the resident representative to India, CAS. May I request Peter to kindly come forward and then give your valuable remarks. Over to you, sir.
So, humanity needs to move away from consuming in excess and shift to consuming only that what is necessary to exist. Before I yield the floor, I'd like to thank our partner, PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for conceptualizing and co-organizing today's event.
So I would first call upon Mr. Jivaraj G. Pillai, who is the Joint President, Packaging and New Product Development, UFEX Limited, to kindly share his views in terms of how you think, as the guest of honor in the inaugural session mentioned, Leena ji, that how we should move forward and what are those ideas which you can share with us in terms of moving forward to make India a very friendly country in terms of going towards zero plastic. So I would request Jivaraj Pillai ji to kindly go ahead. The mic is yours to address us.
The flexible packaging material itself is not bad, but the way we dispose it off, the way we litter after its intended service life is over is the main issue. If the plastic packaging is very important for an economy. A country like India, the plastic packaging industry supports something like $500 billion to $1 trillion economy.
It should always prevail over profit or commercial interest.
So the Konrad Adenauer Foundation is one of the German political foundations. We are in India now since 53 years.
I would request Mr. Saurabh Sanyal to kindly give the formal vote of thanks for this inaugural session. Over to you, Mr. Sanyal.
Let us all take a pledge to ensure use of recycled plastic and shun the single-use plastic to make India a plastic-free country. I'm sure each one of you will agree to this.
Why? Because they also felt that after their retirement, they must work for the community. Now call upon Professor Dr. N.C. Shah, former Director, Indian Institute of Packaging and Chairman, Foundation for Innovation, Packaging and Sustainability, to share his knowledge in terms of how do you expect PhD small and medium scale manufacturers to move in a direction which will be win-win for everybody. So Professor Shah.
Our whole problem starts with a multi-layer material where there is a composite structure and what to do, and that is becoming a big problem. But I believe on the day of the Consumers' Rights Day, we need to understand the polymer technology has done the innovation of the various kinds of polymeric material and which has got a various advantage. But incidentally, today across the world, there is no other innovation has come which could be an alternative to the plastic material by providing the same kind of properties like mechanical, optical, or various kinds of properties.
That today is a great day. It's a one step forward to educate consumers. Dr. Sobit Jain, the mic is yours.
Is nothing that we can wish away, because it is both a friend and a foe. Now, I come from food safety, so it is a great friend of food safety. Let me be admitting about it, because if I really want food to transport from one end of the geography to another end, it is a great medium for me to transfer it hygienically, safely. It is a great friend of the consumer in terms of consumer safety.
And we are working with many institutions in India. Since long, we always try to have a sustainable partnership, and 30 years of partnership, I think, speak for some sustainability.
Deep down the country to every nook and corner. And if you don't do that, then this will be the result.
Because with rights also come duties, and there is, for example, no right to have everything wrapped in plastic as a consumer right, I think. So the duties may be in the foreground in that.
I'm happy to share that PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry is the only chamber in the country, as was brought out by our chair, that we have this Consumer Affairs and Public Health Committee.
But now is the time when we forget about competition and we talk about co-opetition, where we co-opt everybody in this fight to retain our cutting edge in terms of being environmentally meaningful. So the consumer has to demand it, and the producer, the manufacturer has to deliver it. And as a nation, as a society, we all have to talk about the way we dispose of the products.
As a consumer on the tackling plastic issue, I believe that we have a very important thing what we are looking for. We are looking for how best we can go for a biodegradable material, how we can wear a compostable material. And I belong to a foundation. From the foundation, in association with the Indo-German Science and Technology Center, and also with the help of UFLAX, we are taking a project where we make the material, the polymeric material, from natural cellulosic material with PLA, and that will be a smart packaging application.
Mr. Kumar, the mic is yours. Please unmute and come.
In 2016, Government of India framed the plastic waste management rules
And shun the single-use plastic to make India plastic-free country.
That is something that we have to ask ourselves. But let not the discussion stop.
And responsible disposal of the sanitary pads.
It supports the pharmaceutical industry, it supports the consumer durable industry, it supports the chemicals and fertilizers, and more importantly, it supports the agro industry.
We can make ourselves and each other aware of what is needed from our point of view. We have to demand quality of the product. We have to demand quality in the packaging.
collection and then recycling or environmental friendly uses of the plastic waste that gets generated.
It is a great medium for me to transfer it hygienically, safely. It is a great friend of the consumer in terms of consumer safety.
Mr. Karthik Kamal Kumar. Karthik, if I can request you to kindly come on the dais and then share how your product is actually, saving the environment. And since you have already exhibited your product outside the auditorium, so if you can kindly share how this idea has come to you while you were in Japan, and then how best you can really support this single use of plastics.
I worked And the idea came into my mind for developing a vending machine, bringing in the market vending machine for dispensing sanitary napkins, which can be installed in any female toilets at public convenient places. And it can bring a sanitary napkin to a woman in need.
This is one way, but I am thinking about the packaging because I am from the packaging field. Today, you'd see that any of the packaging product, if you say the consumer product,
So big round of applause for Shri Shyam Jyoti.
इसलिए आत्मनिर्भर भारत की कल्पना करते समय एक ने बड़ा अच्छा स्पष्ट कहा है, जब देश को आजादी मिली तो पेनिसिलिन की दवाई लेने के लिए हमारे देश की हेल्थ मिनिस्टर कनाडा में स्पेशल चार्टर प्लेन करके गई थी.
We can come back, and if there is a small tweaking, of course, it has to be backed by scientific studies, that the standards can be tweaked to allow something on the recycled. We definitely do that. A lot of things are in the work. We have a scientific panel purely on packaging now set up.
will make the material, the polymeric material from natural cellulosic material with PLA, and that will be a smart packaging application.
And in that direction, all the efforts from the government in order to enable not only the citizens, but also the industry.
Which continuously works, and Dr. Saha very well knows the work on that front, and tries to further either recycle.
इस प्रकार की ग्लोबल समिट विज्ञान भवन जैसे दिल्ली के राजधानी में होनी चाहिए. बड़े बड़े डिग्नेटरीज उसमें आएंगे, कई देशों के प्रतिनिधि आएंगे, वो भारत के बारे में अपनी भावनाएं व्यक्त करेंगे और भारत सरकार ने सब लोगों के सहयोग से इस वैश्विक महामारी पर कैसे मात की, इसका भी एप्रिसिएशन होगा और भारत नई राह पर अभी चल पड़ा है, इसका मैसेज पूरे विश्व में जाएगा.